welcome to Monday Night Football. Well, the word best and the Arizona Cardinals often not heard in the same sentence for a long time, but they may have the best rookie quarterback of this year's crop in Leinart, and they may have the best stadium in the NFL. This place is spectacular. Unfortunately, it stops there. They're 1-4 out of the gate for the fourth consecutive year and struggling. Anytime the Bears are doing anything but struggling, they're rolling. Chicago's opened 5-0. They, on average, have given up the fewest points per game in the league and scored the most points per game in the league. Haven't had a 5-0 team do that in 42 years. The Bears are the real deal. As we turn to Joe Theismann and Tony Kornheiser, the NFL is so fun when a big city's team is going. And, Tony, that Bears buzz is back again.
It's a rising tide on Lake Michigan that floats all boats. And the NFL is never as old school, never as compelling, and never as much fun as when the boys with the big shoulders are back on top.
Well, on top is someplace the Cardinals usually are not. They hope to turn the franchise around, and the guy who has been asked to do it is someone who we as football fans have seen a lot, and we've seen him win a lot. That's Matt Leinart.
And, Mike, he has been on top. Matt Leinart, all you need to do is look at two simple numbers in Matt Leinart's life, 37-2 as a starter. That's what this young man has accomplished. You hear terms like mature beyond his years, poised, and my favorite when they talk about him, he has a quiet confidence like Tom Brady. Played pretty well against Kansas City last week, almost got his team a victory, completed over 20 passes and a couple of touchdowns, but he's going to need a lot more than that tonight. He's going to need an offensive line to give him an opportunity to stay upright. Matt Leinart certainly has the tools. I'm impressed as heck with the way he plays football. Tonight, he gets a real test against the best of the game.
Yeah, and luckily, we're going to get to eavesdrop on this very tough test against the Bears because Matt Leinart is wired for sound. Back in Arizona, the home of Matt Leinart now, and no quarterback has come into the NFL with a greater set of accomplishments. Just look at them. 2 national titles, and remember, he followed a Heisman winner in Carson Palmer. Not only did he win the titles, but he also won the 2004 Heisman Trophy. And that sparkling 37-2 record that Joe mentioned. Michelle Tafoya, that's your name, isn't it? Michelle spoke with a man who had a front row seat for all of it.
Indeed, I did speak with USC head coach Pete Carroll this week, Mike, and I asked him for his standout memory of Matt Leinart, and he didn't talk about the national championship games, the gaudy record, or even the Heisman Trophy. He pointed to Leinart's sophomore season and his 5th start in the game, or his 5th game as a starter, rather. They had just lost to Cal and were losing at Arizona State 17-10 at halftime. Leinart had been beaten like a drum in the first half. He was in the locker room covered with ice packs, and as his teammates left the locker room to play the second half, they all had to walk past their wounded quarterback who looked beaten. Coach Carroll was the last person out, and with no one else around, he challenged his quarterback, calling him every name in the book before heading to the field himself. Matt's been in these situations. He loves these situations. This isn't too big for Matt Leinart.
We'll see how much he loves it against that very tough team on the other side. He goes against the mighty Bears defense tonight. And glad to have our friends with us at University of Phoenix Stadium, recently renamed first stadium in North America with a retractable grass field and roof, and lots of visitors here. Ton of Bear fans in the house tonight. Speaking of all of our rowdy friends, one of our best friends, Susie Culber, not with us here tonight. Susie's back at home. Suze, we say hello, and we can't wait to see you when you join us in Dallas next week. Neil Racker's set to kick it off. Rasheed Davis back to receive. Off we go from Arizona. A very poor kick that is fielded up the sideline by the Bears' Adrian Peterson. The brother of Jacksonville Jaguar linebacker Mike Peterson takes it to the 37-yard line. So here is Rexy, as Steve Spurrier used to call him. Rex Grossman in his 4th year out of Florida. As we detailed on the pregame, here's a guy who always found a way to get hurt, banged up. If it was the finger, it was the knee. If it was the knee, it was the broken ankle in the preseason last year, and he came back at the very end of the year. The one thing about Grossman, who walks into his 13th start tonight, they all have confidence in him. They like him, they believe in him, and they think this is a quarterback who can take him to the top. Drive start from the 38. Throwing the deep ball right away. Incomplete. Almost hit another home run shot with Bernard Berrien, who's averaging 22 yards a catch this year.
The Arizona Cardinals have given up 23 passes of 20 yards or more. Here was number 24. They just blow this coverage. Bernard Berrien takes off on intro roll and just blows right by him. This is what Bernard Berrien has done game in and game out. That time Rexy Oh, Rexy missed that one, Mike.
And Berrien told us last night Rex is so good at the deep ball and putting just enough air under it to hit him in stride, just a step away. First down run, Thomas Jones gains about 2 yards on 3rd and 9. Cardinals bring pressure. Grossman throws, almost intercepted. A hair high, and Eric Green, second year out of Virginia Tech, couldn't pull it down. 3 and out of the gate for Chicago.
Mike, the fact that Chicago missed a big play early now settles the Arizona Cardinals down just a little bit. There's a ball that's a rocket ship that he throws, just comes up short, but they were able to stop the train at least for a little while.
Probably the first 3 and out Chicago's had all year if you read all the clips. They've scored on every pass all year if you read the clips.
Brad Maynard picks, fair catch signaled for and made by Troy Walters at the 22-yard line. 39-yard punt. And Matt Leinart comes out. He played in the mop-up role, replacing Kurt Warner in the game against Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. Then got the start against Kansas City. 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Struggle in the fourth. Drove him in position for a long game-time field goal that Neil Rackers just missed. But he did show poise in the pocket in his first National Football League start against the Chiefs. Now he gets the mighty Bears defense. A defense that's given up 36 points thus far. First throw, hauled in by Anquan Boldin. Very productive receiver, a lot of catches, big and strong, as you see there. Gain of 5.
I like the way they're starting this game. Keith Rowan, the offensive coordinator, is spreading the Bears out, and he's got Matt in the shotgun. Get him away from the guys up front. Give him a chance to look, get it out to Anquan Boldin. This is as good as any run they could call to Edgerrin James. You pick up 6 yards.
Boldin will be busy. Larry Fitzgerald, another outstanding receiver on this team, out tonight with an injured hamstring. Obafemi Ayambadejo in motion, blocking for Edgerrin James. Was to fight and does not get back to the original line of scrimmage. Bears bring the heat. Leinart got rid of it. First down, Bryant Johnson, the first-round draft pick out of Penn State 4 years ago.
The fact that Matt Leinart is in the shotgun allows him the ability to back up. You see the free runner. Here comes the blitz, unblocked. He manages to get the ball off, even though Lance Briggs was bearing down on him with no one in front of him.
The mark is...
The measuring here?
Yeah, it's just a hair behind where the first down line was, so we'll get a measurement here.
I think if they make this, the Cardinals ought to just stop. Well, we've done well. We got the first down of the game. We've surprised the world. As Muhammad Ali would say, we've shocked the world, and now we're leaving the field, and you people, drive home safely.
Oh, easy.
No.
Easy. We talked about the game last week. Leinart, in his first start, completed 60% of his passes and 250 or more yards in an NFL debut. Last 50 years, Roman Gabriel, Dan Marino, Brent Peace, and that was in a strike game. He was a replacement player, and Leinart. So very small company to have the kind of first start like Leinart had against the Chiefs last week. Play action. Leonard Pope is the tight end, rookie out of Georgia. Holds on right near another first down. Nathan Vasher hanging on to bring down the big 6'8" Pope.
The maturity of Matt Leinart is shown here, and the mobility. This is something he worked a nice touch over Alex Brown. A lot of quarterbacks, young and/or veteran, would try and gun that out. Watch the touch he puts on the ball. A little bit of a basketball loop out to Pope, gives him a chance to run with it, and Leonard Pope does a nice job of protecting the ball as the Bears get him down.
Brought those size 15 shoes within a yard of the first down. And Edgerrin James up the middle for a first down against this Bears defense, which is fabulous, led by Lance Briggs. And missing from the lineup, Adewale Ogunleye with the hamstring injury. First down run. There's Edgerrin James, looking much more like the Edgerrin James you're used to seeing on national TV. Gain of 9 yards. Urlacher and Ricky Manning Jr. on the tackle. Fabulous with the Colts. Free agency. Colts were maxed out with so many of the big-name players. He comes here, and right now, Tony, it's been different.
Look what he does. He has averaged barely 3 yards a carry, and they expected him to get 100 yards routinely, as he often did with the Colts has not happened here, and I know, Joe, you think that's because of a weak offensive line.
I do. I think their offensive line has to play better, but I like what Keith Rowan, the offensive coordinator, is doing. He's given Matt Leinart an opportunity to line up away from that defensive line.
James runs out of the gun. He meets Lance Briggs. And the forward progress mark is going to give Edgerrin the first down in Bears territory.
Has not happened.
4 years, $30 million. He takes a blow on the sideline. After the third first down picked up, Leinart completes it to Anquan Boldin. Make it 4 first downs at the 28-yard line.
Okay, here's the deal here with Matt Leinart and the Arizona Cardinals. Nobody expects them to win, but he's taking the team down the field. And I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. Even a score would be a lot. But if they were to somehow win this game, that is a career maker. That's the Hollywood movie that you want to script.
Wait a minute. You told them to go back in the locker room after they made a first down. Now you're talking about them winning the game?
I think people forget quickly what I've said. I'm latching on. I'm a front runner. Come on.
It was a short career.
Here is James. A.J. Schabel came in at fullback and threw him a nice block to get 5 yards on first down.
The game itself is one of momentum. We could look back at that first pass that Chicago made. Bernard Berrien, if Rex Grossman can get it there, it's a touchdown. Now you're playing from behind. This is a very well-conceived, momentum-gaining type of a drive.
Chicago has not given up a touchdown in the first half all year, let alone the quarter.
Play 10 of the drive is another James run. Edgerrin James for the first down to the 17-yard line. Urlacher brings him down.
My point is, you may not be able to get excited about the Cardinals in the second quarter or the third quarter. Let's do it right now. I mean, let's look at Matt Leinart, and everybody says what a terrific player he was at USC, obviously 37-2. He's leading the team down the field against the best defense in the league. You got to jump up behind that, Joe.
In the red zone, 5 first downs on the drive. James patiently waits for the hole to open. Gets to the 12-yard line.
Tony, I don't think they're going to go away. I think it's a little bit of a misconception to say, okay, it's a first quarter. This is a football team that has gained steam and gotten better and better. Where they haven't gotten the production out of is their offensive line. That is the difference in tonight's game. You look at the amount of touchdowns allowed in the first quarter in the last 8 regular season games. Forget about just this year. The Bears defense has been tough.
Marcel Shipp replaces James in the backfield. And Leinart checks the play at the line. Quick toss. Bryant Johnson made a man miss. Bryant Johnson to the end zone. Arizona! Touchdown!
Okay, if you're Matt Leinart, you've just had an extraordinary debut on Monday night. After the coach, Lovie Smith of the Bears, said, I know he's played at SC and all that, but he hasn't played on Monday night before. Well, the last time I checked the calendar, it was Monday night. The Bears hadn't given up a touchdown all year in the first quarter or the first half, and this kid took him right down the field.
The big stage does not intimidate Matt Leinart. As a matter of fact, he relishes these moments.
Neil Rackers, the kicker. Out of the hold of punter Scott Player. 12 plays, 77 yards. And Matt Leinart looks like he's been doing this forever. It's early, but it's not what a lot of people expected, except those in the Cardinal and white. 7-0 Arizona. Second kickoff by Rackers. Rasheed Davis' first opportunity to return. Brought down at the 20-yard line by A.J. Schabel, the backup fullback. 8 minutes in, first quarter. And the Bears in a 7-point hole. Grossman to Musa Muhammad, brought down very well by Eric Green. lot of big-time safeties in the NFC, but Wilson is a very good one you don't hear much about. Thomas Jones on the screen, brought down by Darnell Dockett. Dockett just got a contract extension earlier this week. Third down coming up.
Thomas Jones, of course, was an Arizona Cardinal and has gone on to Chicago, and you saw an appreciable difference in his yards per carry when he went to Chicago. He was in Arizona when they weren't a very good football team, when their offensive line was struggling at a time when they couldn't get anybody blocked.
Third and a couple. Rasheed Davis, the motion man. Grossman again, airing it out deep. Right through the arms of Antrell Roll, the former Miami Hurricane. Could have had an interception, should have had an interception. It's fourth down.
That's 2 straight 3-and-outs. This is the old Bears. These were the new Bears leading the league in scoring, and that should have been intercepted.
But these are the kind of plays that come back to haunt you later on. You've got momentum. You've scored a touchdown. Now all of a sudden you have the opportunity to intercept a pass. Remember that. Write that one down. That will come back and bite the Cardinals.
Maynard to pick to Troy Walters. The Cardinals almost get in there for the block. They haven't had a punt return in 211 games. Walters only a return of a couple of yards.
Go! Go! Yeah, baby! Woo! Yeah! Hey, good serve, baby, that way. Hey, good drive. Hey, we'll dominate their ass. Let's go. Neil. Let's go.
Don't forget the kicker, Matt Leinart, who is wired, is fired up after that opening drive for a touchdown. Cardinals start this drive, same spot, their own 23. And Boldin is so strong, gets close to the 29-yard line. And that last completion gets him 6 of 6. Now 7 of 7 as Boldin is brought down with authority at the 30. They need a long 2 for the first down. Pressure up the middle. Leinart moves left. Nothing open and throws. It is ruled an interception, but they may overrule that. Come in and say it was incomplete. Let's see. The ruling on the field is a pick.
He's just got to throw this away. He took a sack last week against Kansas City late in the game that cost field position. Now all he has to do is throw it away. You can't make a play. Just throw the ball away. And this one bounced on the ground.
That's Urlacher rushing him, isn't it?
And yep. Nathan Vasher with what's now being called an interception there at the 31-yard line.
Urlacher was the one who said, we will show him pressure like he has never seen before.
Denny Green has to challenge. This is an incomplete pass, and Matt Leinart not only performed well on a drive, but he got lucky.
We have a challenge by Dennis Green that Lovie Smith's Bears came up with an interception. Very tough to tell here on this replay as Nathan Vasher is in there with his hands. Did it bounce, or is it the illusion of a bounce because his hand is on the ground?
I think you'll see his hand is on the left part of it. I don't see the ball on top of his hand on that shot. I see it landing inside of it, which is where the ground is. As I look at it, I would see it as an incomplete pass. Now, remember, it has to be conclusive.
Indisputable.
Indisputable,
yes.
And in my mind, it is. But
and the man
I'm not the guy under there.
And that's Jerome Boger, who is a rookie NFL referee, was an official the last couple of years in the league as a line judge. And before that was a very good referee in Conference USA, where the supervisor of their officials was Jerry Austin, an NFL official. So they've had a very good eye on Jerome for years, and he's one of the bright young referees in the NFL.
I thought this was a 60-second max deal. It feels like it's been 3 minutes already.
It's 60 seconds to look, then the screen goes off, but then they have to figure out where
the screen goes off. Can you put another quarter in to get another 15 seconds? Oh.
What you do now is you figure out where the ball's spotted if it is going to be overruled.
And sometimes when you see writing on the card means it's coming back for the placement of where the ball is. So we'll wait for Jerome to give us the official announcement on if the Bears have a turnover at the Cardinals 31 or it's fourth down and a punt.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass. The ball skipped into the receiver.
Good job, Joe.
So the Cardinals lose one of their 2 challenge opportunities. Do not lose a timeout. And Denny Green, for the first time this year, wins a replay challenge. He was 0-4 coming into tonight.
But it doesn't change the fact that Matt Leinart has to do a better job when he rolls out of the pocket making decisions with the football. Make your decision quick, be decisive, get it out of your hands, throw it away, let the punt team go out and do their job.
I was all ready to write that movie for him. Leading the team down the field, down the field, down the field, so I'll just shut up.
You have the eraser out now?
Former Miami Hurricane Devin Hester back to return the punt. You saw what he did in his first game. Hey, this guy should punt for Bill Parcells, because this is the player. Scott Player. His 9th year at Florida State, went to the Pro Bowl in 2000.
How about that face mask? Now, you can't wear single bars anymore if you're coming into the league. But if you wore one, you're grandfathered in. And as old as Scott is, he qualifies to be a grandfather.
But it's sagging, that bar. It's not even upright.
A very high kick that Hester will fair catch. Had his own man back into him and does a very smart job of getting out of the way of the bounce. This beautiful new University of Phoenix Stadium, first season in it for Arizona. The Cardinals are 1-4 on the year. If you ask anybody in the Cardinals organization, almost before they say, hi, how are you? They say, you know, we should be 3-2. They felt like they had a couple of games they let slip away. The Bears are undefeated, but have 2 3-and-outs to start this night. And this one will back up a bit with the penalty marker down.
I like when they say we should be 3-2, because it gives me the opportunity to say I should have hair.
Right.
But I don't, and they're 1-4.
False start, 69 offense, 5-yard penalty, replay, still first down.
Penalty on Fred Miller. Here's Michelle Tafoya.
Mike, this week I spoke with Steve Spurrier, who coached Rex Grossman and so many other great college quarterbacks at Florida, and he told me, I've always said Rex was the best passer I ever coached. His passes are natural. The ball comes out of his hand beautifully and fluidly and with very little effort. You saw there he owns so many school records. I'll finish after the play.
Which is Rex down the middle. Hauled in nicely by his tight end, Desmond Clark, to the 40-yard line pickup of 26. Let's watch the Clark play one more time.
What you can do with this offense, which the Bears never have been able to do, is spread the field with receivers, which allows Desmond Clark to get his 17th catch. He's averaging over 15 yards of reception. If you want to double cover the outside, fine. Rex Grossman has the time, and that's just a wonderful catch helping your quarterback out.
And right back to the air from the 40. Grossman's throw is incomplete, intended for Muhsin Muhammad. And again, here's Michelle.
Well, Steve Spurrier went on to say that Rex has a knack for throwing appropriate passes. He said it doesn't matter if it takes a drop shot or a more streamlined pass. He can throw it long, short, and in between. He just has a knack, and I don't think you can coach that. We saw that on that previous long pass. We'll see what he does the rest of the drive, Mike.
And Michelle, he was telling us last night that he thinks the other Florida quarterbacks, like Danny Werfel, for example, would have had more success in the NFL in a better situation. But he is the best pure passer of that group. Just a little dump to his fullback, Jason McKee, who is bumped out of bounds by Gerald Hayes, third-round draft pick 4 years ago out of Pitt.
He's the best passer of that group. He's the only one really out of Florida who's had success, and he has not all that much. It's only this year, but he talked about the expectations for a quarterback being so much higher at Florida in college than at Chicago, where they don't expect to have good quarterbacks. He said Sid Luckman is the guy they know, and he knows it's been a long time because his picture's in black and white. That's like politicians going back to Woodrow Wilson, saying how great he was. You know, this kid could own Chicago if he can keep throwing touchdown passes.
3rd and 9. They've run it one time. This is the 9th pass attempt of the first quarter. For Muhammad, it hung up in the air, intercepted by Aaron Francisco. And the second-year man out of BYU is still going. Francisco stays on his feet to the 26-yard line.
You'd have to believe that all this talk about the Chicago Bear defense, the dominance of the Chicago Bears, all that talk has gotten the Arizona Cardinal defense just a little riled up. Good pressure from Bertrand Berrien. He doesn't allow Rex to get comfortable, and then Francisco goes up and just takes it out of the air.
Do you think it's also possible, you played, that the Bears took this team very lightly? We'll smother this team. We're 5-0. They're 1-4. We'll beat them down.
I think so. I think there was an air of cockiness and arrogance to them. That's good, but not when they come out and get their tail handed to them.
Edgerrin James carries for 2 yards just to clean up the interception. Aaron Francisco, 43-yard return, second-year player out of BYU. First interception for him, the 4th time that Lovie Smith's quarterback has been picked off here in 2006. And when we talked to Lovie yesterday, he said, you know, we've played very dominant football at home. We have to go on the road and get tested. A lot of people are saying 85 Bears comparison. These guys know the leaves are still on the trees. It's early to start talking about the countdown to Miami in the Super Bowl like they are in the Chicago Sun-Times. 2nd and 8, James, good pressure. Lance Briggs and Mike Brown force the loss and 3rd down. And on the other side, when we saw Dennis Green, he talked about this Bears team is, as he described, a flavor of the month, not a negative term.
No, he said they were 5-0, but he also said, I've had a bunch of teams that have been 5-0 as well, and there's a long way to go. And he pointed out that the Bears' great success so far this season has come at home. And before he was going to say that they were great, he wanted to see what they could do on the road. Well, they're on the road.
And so far, his Cardinals are playing better than they are.
And that's a surprise to me, and I'm sure to you as well.
Cardinals have not picked up a 3rd and 11 or more all season. They have now. Anquan Boldin, touchdown, Arizona.
That's Matt Leinart leading them down the field again. That's going to be 14 points in the first quarter against the Bears. You know, Robert Griffith talked about Leinart, said he's a winner. He came into our huddle and it looked like, you want to win with me? Come on, let's go. You could not have a better debut on Monday night than Leinart's having so far.
Extra point added by Rackers. Matt Leinart with the touchdown to make it 14-0 Arizona, shocking the undefeated Bears here in the first quarter.
The whole city of Chicago, Mike, is quiet right now. I mean, not a car moving, not a horn blowing. Everybody is sitting there watching television, stunned.
3rd pickup of the quarter for Rackers. And the Rashid Davis return is just to the 20-yard line. Marcel Shipp tripped him up.
Maybe he'll talk to us about it.
No, we didn't.
Grossman toss. Thomas Jones gains only 2 yards to the 22-yard line.
We don't have to beg you to talk. Come on. I mean, yet there has to be an acknowledgement of some sort.
There is an acknowledgement. Yes, something happened, and what a great game.
Do you want to give us the name?
What a great game. No, it's okay.
Really?
No, it's all right. It's okay. It was a part of the past. Yep.
Well, you talk about celebrities.
You're a good sport on that.
But how about this one?
Oh,
Austin
Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher.
Kristen Kutcher and Debbie.
Demi might be texting.
Excuse me.
Demi might be texting you here in the first quarter. 2nd and 7 for Grossman to Thomas Jones. Good job getting the block, and Jones out of bounds, 3 yards shy of the first down. Carlos Dansby, Orlando Huff defending.
This may sound very simplistic, but it is critical for the Chicago Bears to get a first down here. They have to start this snowball that Matt Leinart has rolling down the hill at them to pick up a first down to give themselves a chance to get into their game. They're going to keep on throwing the ball down the field. They're not going to back off. The Bears aren't.
End of one. Arizona 14, Chicago nothing. Matt Leinart wired and fired up in the first. We start the second quarter here from Glendale, Arizona, 15 miles northwest of downtown Phoenix. Second straight week that Matt Leinart has gotten off to a hot start, thrown 2 touchdowns, and the Cardinals have had a 14-0 lead. Kansas City came back to beat them 23-20 last week. Big hit on Bernard Berrien. That's an incomplete pass. Eric Green with the big shot.
Eric Green, as soon as Rex Grossman rose up to throw this, Eric Green just breaks. He's got his eye on Bernard Berrien. Bernard Berrien doesn't take a step forward. He starts right on the slant, and he comes, and Green comes for the collision and separates him.
Isn't it supposed to be the Bears defense doing that to someone else?
Supposed to be. Yeah. But in your book, the Matt Leinart story, does it work that way?
I've got a contract at halftime. I'll tell you about it.
Brad Maynard's punt. Troy Walters retreating to the 20. Picked up a block, picked up another one, and a decent return out to the 33-yard line for Walters. Obviously, with the heat out here in the desert, it's a very comfortable night out, temperature in the 80s as things got started. First down, Anquan Boldin with the catch to the 36-yard line. Matt Leinart, do you remember draft day? He had the longest hour and a half of his life. As decorated a college quarterback as there was, but he had to wait an hour 24 until the 10th pick came up, and he was selected. That time, Reggie Wells, the offensive lineman, ran into Jones, and big play by the Bears defense will force third down.
When they finally called his name, it must have felt like a reprieve from the governor. He was stunned at how many people picked apart what he had done. They said his arm, and Joe, we'll get to this later. I know you didn't think his arm was all that strong. And he said, I thought people were happy I would go out there and I would win. But everybody is getting on me. He said, I'm thinking, what did I do wrong? But he also said landing here was the best place for him ultimately.
Loss of 6, 3rd and 12. Leinart pressured, deflected it incomplete. Lance Briggs coming right at him. Allows the strong play for Daniel Manning, the rookie safety, to jump it. It's fourth down.
The Chicago Bears finally got the Arizona Cardinals in a position where they wanted them, 3rd and long. That shows you the importance of not getting negative yards. The second down run cost them 5 yards. They need to keep it 3rd down and 6, 3rd down and 7, so that if the blitz does come, Matt at least has a chance to get the ball out of his hands to a receiver that gets enough for the first down.
Scott Player kicks to Devin Hester. 50-yard kick on the nose. Hester the return. Hit it hard and is taken to the 33-yard line. Surprising start in Arizona. Cardinals leading the Bears 14-0.
That's a good look for that guy, don't you think? That red wig?
No. First and 10, Grossman on play action. Trying to throw a lot. Intercepted. What is going on tonight? Gerald Hayes, the linebacker, picking up blocks. And Hayes takes it to the 29-yard line.
The offensive and defensive coordinators of the Arizona Cardinals look like they're standing in the huddles of the Bears. Wherever the receivers of the Bears go, you've got a defender standing there waiting. Gerald Hayes drops back. Now Rex Grossman tries to lead him. There's no way that receiver is going to be anywhere near open. He's trying to get it to Bernard Berrien, and if he doesn't get it, the corner covering him is probably going to wind up with it. That's just a bad decision.
Bears made a bad decision coming here, apparently, playing this game.
Second possession starting deep in Chicago territory. We have a marker down that will push them back 5.
False start. Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. First down.
After the penalty on Chris Lewinsky, we are joined up here in the booth by a guy who lives out here. He's just everywhere that you are, it seems. We see him on TNT covering the NBA. Hello, Charles Barkley.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
Good to have you here, Charles.
And I told y'all Arizona's going to shock the world tonight.
Yeah.
Your team, right?
After it was 14-0, I believe you said those exact words.
I said it before the game, Tony. You know that.
From the 34, here is Leinart to Edgerrin James. He gains just a couple of yards to the 32-yard line. This is a big deal. This stadium, this franchise, because you're out here a bunch. Obviously, you started with the Suns. This franchise was just in the tank. Nobody believed in them becoming the winner.
Well, it all started with Coach Green. He came here and gave it a face to the organization. Obviously, the wide receivers, Fitzgerald and Boldin, have made their stars. Then Edge came here, and we got very fortunate getting Matt Leinart. They're on the right track. But each fan deserves a winner.
They have not seen a lot of winning since the Cardinals moved in here from St. Louis in the late 80s. Bears change their defensive look. Leinart adjusts the play. And a this one's flagged down before the start.
Big football fan?
Oh, yeah. I love sports. And I just want to see the Cardinals do better. But I love football. Sunday's the greatest day of the week.
We would hope you'd say Monday was the greatest day of the week, Chuck.
Monday Night Football on ESPN is the greatest television spectacle there is right now.
How about your own vast football
Wait,
experience? You're a big guy. I'm sure you must have played some football in high school, if not at Auburn.
No, I was too smart. But I played football one day, and I realized they were really hitting out there.
Now that was in high school, or
no? I wasn't that dumb. It was like in a recreational league, Civic Center.
2 procedure flags, bringing back to 2nd and 18, and James runs it to the 34-yard line.
You know, my 2 favorite sports are boxing and football, but you have to have a certain toughness or like a mean streak to play either one of those sports. I truly believe that.
But I go to a lot of NBA games, and I watch you guys play, and I watch you guys. It's really physical down under the basket. Is it anywhere near as physical as this?
There's nothing like football as far as physical play, and I truly mean that. And we're a lot smarter now.
You think you are.
Cardinals taking a timeout here before the 3rd and 15 from the 34. It's 3rd down as we come back, 3rd and 15. If you're just joining us, Matt Leinart, 2 first-quarter touchdown passes, 1 to Bryant Johnson, 1 to Anquan Boldin. And without one of their top receivers, Larry Fitzgerald, shocking the thus far undefeated Bears, 14-0.
Mike, this is going to be the 3rd touchdown right here.
Charles Barkley says so. Leinart tries to deliver to Boldin. Incomplete. Well covered by Nathan Vasher. It'll be 4th down.
I was wrong.
You are a fan, aren't you?
I love football. I do.
Nathan Vasher just has Boldin one-on-one. Not necessarily the fastest guy, but very tough. He's built like Sterling Sharp. Great legs, has the hands of a Chris Carter. Rare combination, tremendous hands catcher with a great lower body.
Neil Rackers, who has a big leg but missed a 50-plus yarder to tie the game at the end of the game last week, tries from 52. And Rackers is now 0 for 4 from over 50 yards. He was 14 of 21 coming into this year. And the Bears will take over at their own 42. Thomas Jones the carry. Another great play by Gerald Hayes. Small game there.
As long as we mention Terrell Owens, what do you think of him as a teammate? What do you think of what he does? How would it work with you?
I don't think it'd work for me because I'd have hit him in the head a long time ago. He's a great player, obviously. I like T.O., but if I was a teammate, I would have been hit him in the head with something.
Can you win with a guy that does those type of things?
Well, you got to win or it's going to tear up your team. The only way it can work, you know, if you win, you can get away with a lot more stuff, Joe. You know that. But if he loses, the team is obviously going to blow up.
Could that happen? Because it's a much bigger room in football. Could that happen in a small room like basketball with only 12 players?
No,
Have you ever played with somebody who you did want to hit in the head?
And I hit him in the head.
Who?
No, I had a couple, that's going to happen. But T.O.'s got such an overbearing personality, it'd be tough to play with.
This is 3rd and 5. Bears have 1 first down tonight. Jones out of the backfield. Can he get it? Good. Open field tackle by Antrell Roll. Gonna force 4th down.
We've talked a lot about the Chicago Bear defense and what they were supposed to do and what they've done so far. Ranked number 1. But you look at the job that the Arizona Cardinal defense has done. Here comes the pressure from Dockery inside. Thomas Jones, one-on-one, Antrell Roll. One-on-one in the open field, bringing down Thomas Jones.
So forced to punt yet again is Brad Maynard. Aiming it for the sideline.
Oh,
and it looks like he kept it in bounds. No, he did not. Touchback. Cardinals will take over the 20. Little walk around some of the concourses. I got a chance to get here early and check out this University of Phoenix Stadium. It is a beautiful $455 million facility that opened just a couple of months ago.
It should be for $450 million.
I know it should. There are the numbers out of the quarterback so far, and completely opposite of what Rex Grossman has done thus far throughout the season in those dominant Bears wins. Now we have a challenge flag thrown by Lovie Smith on that side, obviously challenging if that punt should have been a touchback or not.
Now he has to find out if it is a challengeable play. That's the key right now. And that's what the official is doing to him. That's what Jerome Boger's doing. He's letting him know whether or not. Now, what angle did he think went out? It looked like it went out on the playing field side of the pylon from the angle that we had. This is where you can catch the flight of the ball.
But you see the gentleman in the far right-hand corner who was catching it about 8 yards in. He was about 6 or 7 yards away from the pylons. I think that's a very tough one via replay. You know, we saw a couple of spots challenged during the Jets-Miami game yesterday. Very unsuccessful.
This would be very tough to challenge, considering on that shot we had no idea where the ball was. It could have been out of the stadium.
Now there's where the ball lands. See where the ball lands?
Yep.
It's still very difficult to tell. And I'm pretty sure Lovie found out that it doesn't work. So
that
picked
you
up his
can't
hanky.
challenge it.
The rule on the field is not challengeable. Therefore, the Chicago Bears team will not be allowed to challenge the play.
As opposed to the spot of the ball on a regular third down play, running play, trying to get a first down. That you can go back and replay and look at the spot. Punt going out of bounds. Not so they take over at the 20.
Arizona cannot lose the momentum they have gained. They need to keep the first downs. They need to protect Matt Leinart. Don't give the Bears any momentum back.
First down from the 20. Here is Edgerrin James for just a yard. All the Cardinals could settle for was a 52-yard field goal that they missed. And that's how we've arrived here. And it'll be third downs. The pass for Johnson was incomplete. And Nathan Vasher had the coverage for Chicago.
You know, it's going to be very interesting if Arizona becomes conservative with that lead.
Well, the last time
You can't run out the clock in the second quarter.
I know, but
you can't do that.
But when you got momentum like this, don't you have to be more aggressive?
Yes.
when they intercepted it the last time, they got 2 procedure penalties which set them back. That was the perfect time to put some more points on the board. They wind up with an exceptionally long field goal attempt that goes wide left.
The voice of Charles Barkley joining us up here in the booth. It's 3rd and 9. Leinart gets rid of it quickly to Troy Walters, who tried to fight for the first down. The whistle was blown. He went out of bounds. Nathan Vasher took him there, shy of the first down, so they will punt here on 4th down.
Excellent job by both corners in the open field. We saw Antrell Roll make one on the last possession. Now Nathan Vasher makes one.
You ever in a situation like this where you were with a team that was either heavily favored or heavily the underdog and completely reversed what you thought would happen in that game?
As a fan, if I had been with the Arizona Cardinals yesterday, I would have gotten really upset the way everybody said they had no chance. All they talked about was how bad their defense is going to batter Matt Leinart. That's why the Cardinals are playing like this.
It's a dangerous punt. It was a line drive. There's a penalty marker down as Devin Hester is brought to the 40-yard line. It's one of those that you can really return quickly. 53-yard kick, return 22. Let's check the flag thrown back at the 30. Looking like it'll back the Bears up and negate the return by the rookie Hester.
One thing all players have in common, they have pride. And the way they were talking about the Bears against the Cardinals yesterday and today, that would have fired me up as a Cardinal.
Looks like it has.
It definitely has.
There is no foul for illegal block in the back on the play. The block is ruled to have been from the side. First down.
I'm just big bone. I'm not fat anymore. I'm just big boned.
From the 40, Grossman, look out from behind. Almost lost the ball, did lose the ball. And his helmet. Coming around the corner, Bertrand Berry knocked it free. Now who's got it at the bottom of the pile?
Rex Grossman is used to standing in the pocket very comfortably.
Cardinal ball.
Bertrand Berry. Not only does he take the ball, he takes the helmet and everything else.
It's still early, obviously, but we may be looking at the biggest upset clearly this year in the NFL. this could be enormous. They come in 5-0, dominating, killing people. 25 points a game. Number one statistically on defense, number one statistically on offense, and now down amazingly.
Arizona has to get something out of this.
So Berry gets the strip, the helmet, the recovery. Went around John Tate, who he went up against when Berry was with Denver. Tate was with Kansas City. A run there to the 30-yard line by Adrian James, a 3-yard gain. Hey, the guy who made that play, Berry, he's one of those stories that you love. At Notre Dame, he was a hybrid between a linebacker and a defensive end. He was out of football in 2000, went up to the Canadian League, played for a few weeks and said, I can't do this. He was about ready to start thinking, what do I do with the rest of my life? I'm not going to play football. Goes and works out for Denver. Mike Shanahan makes that team, makes the Pro Bowl in 2004 here with the Cardinals, and now is one of their key guys as he's arrived in Arizona as a defensive end. Second and 7, James. No gain. Chicago's defense has been very tough the last couple of drives, and they need to be, because right now Chicago's offense has shut her down. 7 tries, 4 3-and-outs, and the other 3 turnovers. Grossman throwing 2 picks, and there, the fumble caused by Bertrand Berry.
Charles, you talked about pride and playing for pride. Bertrand Berry told us the other day, we have an opportunity to show we're not as bad as our record shows. That's not the most confident thing in the world, but it would speak to the notion that we don't want to get embarrassed on a national game.
Well, everybody watches Monday Night Football. All the players, it's a great stage.
3rd and 7, Leinart, good catch on the snap. Dumps it, complete for the first down to the 18-yard line.
A lot of people felt like Matt Leinart was just a pocket passer. Well, he was a pocket passer at USC because he didn't have to move. A couple months before the draft, he decided to start working out, and he even surprised himself. As a matter of fact, he said, I've got everybody fooled. They think I can really move. Well, he proved he can. He's using his legs to make plays tonight.
And a nice job of play calling there, going to J.J. Arrington in the passing game for the first time tonight. A gain of 13, and the Cardinals have their first down of the second quarter. Adrian James had a little burst there as he's going to be marked down at the 14-yard line. So he's been on that big stage and is very comfortable as the leader in the spotlight and thriving in it here tonight. James.
If I had Reggie Bush, Lindell White, Dwayne Jarrett, I'd be comfortable too.
No, let me ask you this. When you play in big games, people are talking to jump college to pro. When you play in big games, don't you get used to the big game intensity and pressure?
The pressure's always there because you don't want to screw up. But the better players you have, the more you're prepared for a big game. I mean, it's only a big game when you got enough talent to win.
And USC had that week in, week out. Every game that they took the field, all 39 under Leinart. 3rd and 5. James the toss. Boldin blocking, but he held. He's going to come back. James fighting to get the first down. And I think receiver is grabbing on.
That's probably more important when you had a program like USC, Oklahoma, Texas. Every game is a big game for you.
Holding.
Auburn.
Offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Said by a former Auburn Tiger.
Guy, absolutely. Well, people went up to Matt Leinart during this week and only half-jokingly asked, are you afraid you'll get killed by the Chicago Bears? And he said, you know, they said this when I went in against Kansas City, and I did pretty well in that. He's clearly unafraid of the circumstance, having played in big games on a big stage. He welcomed the opportunity to go out there, and he said, I can show people I can play. Not nervous, not scared.
You know, but he got some really good players around him. That's the one thing the Cardinals have did. Edge, Boldin, Fitzgerald, Brian Johnson. They got some good players.
Bears take the penalty, push him back to the 23. It's 3rd down. Leinart picks up a bad snap again. Throws incomplete, intended for Carlisle Holiday. The former Notre Dame quarterback is now an active receiver, called up from the practice squad because of the Larry Fitzgerald injury.
The Arizona Cardinals have had 2 opportunities to put some points on the board. Mike, you mentioned it before. They scored 14 against Kansas City in the first quarter last week, and they wound up losing the game late. The one thing they've talked about is we don't have a killer instinct. They keep giving away opportunities. They're going to start feeling that way again.
Joe, is this a win for the Bears holding them to a field goal?
It is defensively, but your offense is what they've counted on. They have to pick it up on that side of the ball.
Rackers, who had missed his last 2 field goals, both over 50, bangs it home from 41, and Arizona extends its lead to 17-0. We talk about Arizona's struggles, not just here. I go back to the history of this franchise, equaling the oldest, been around playing professional football in what was the start of the NFL, even the league right before it. They won 2 championships going back to their start in 1920, 1 playoff appearance, 1 winning season in 1998, Jake Plummer, their quarterback, and 7 straight losing seasons. Charles, we saw that this year with the LA Clippers in basketball. How tough is it to turn around a losing culture into a winning culture and attract the players that can make you win?
Well, I think you got to get a Bidwell's credit because they have went out. They first hired Dennis Green. They drafted Fitzgerald. Then they got Anquan Boldin. Then they went out this year and got Edge. They are really trying to win. But now they just got to become more consistent. And it's a big deal, a lot riding, because I wonder what's going to happen to Dennis Green if they don't have a great season, because he is the face of this franchise, and that's the first time they've had that.
To be fair, they have been an abysmal, horrific franchise for many, many years.
Yes.
I mean, just awful. The Clippers is a good comparison because they did pull themselves out of it, and Arizona, having a great night right now, has not done that at all.
Rasheed Davis from the 10, hit it hard, just shy of the 30-yard line.
That's about what the Arizona Cardinals have said to the Chicago Bears. Show me what you got.
And a penalty marker on the return will bring them back to the 20 with a push in the back right at the spot where the return stopped. So 80 yards for Grossman, who has struggled tonight. Thomas Jones, the former Cardinal. Gain of 4 brought down by Gerald Hayes.
In light of the fact that it was such a bad franchise for such a long time, and in fact now is 1-4 under Dennis Green for the 3rd straight time, that makes this thing tonight even more stunning. Nobody in America had Arizona up 17-0 in the 2nd quarter against Chicago. Nobody. I know you love them, not even you.
You're correct. But this game don't mean as much, because they obviously going to be pumped up to be on Monday Night Football. But they play the Raiders next week, and then you'll see if they'll turn the corner and they're becoming a good team.
Grossman's pass into traffic intended for Desmond Clark. And as a team, 20 plays, 50 yards, 1 first down. Time and a window to throw to the tight end, complete. Des Clark first down, 39-yard line.
There are moments in a game, Charles, you know, and no matter what it is in competition, there are moments where you can capture back the momentum. Here it is coming down towards the end of the half. If the Bears can put some kind of points on the board, Lovey can go in at halftime and say, guys, I told you, this is going to be a football game. We can't just roll our helmet out.
As a novice, I think that them holding Arizona to a field goal was a turning point in the game. I truly believe that. If they can get a touchdown here, they will have momentum.
Thomas Jones hit hard by Orlando Huff. A penalty marker comes down. It's a gain of 7 to reject the flag.
I love you. But talk about the turning point in the game. It's 17-0.
Yeah, but
there's no turning point. So far, Tony, Arizona's up 17-0.
But I truly believe in all sporting events, there's 5 or 6 plays. If Arizona was up 21-0, that would be totally different.
Offense, number 87. Tim Yakona from the end of the run. First down.
Penalty on the veteran receiver, Musa Muhammad.
So far, to me, the big momentum shift was when Grossman missed 6 points on the first play of the game. That's what Chicago's used to, getting up early, getting a lead, taking their defense and savaging the quarterbacks. They missed that one. Something changed in here.
Yeah, but you got to realize something. If they score a touchdown here, the pressure will switch back to Arizona.
This is bizarre. This is a home crowd support for the Cardinals. Grossman pressure. He lost it again. Arizona's got it again. Chris Cooper came off the end and helped knock it free. Adrian Wilson in there as well.
This is an offensive line that is being embarrassed. All for the first month of the season, people talked about Arizona's offensive line not that good. The Bears are great. This is a complete flip-flop. This goes back to what you talked about, Charles. Now the Arizona Cardinals have to put a touchdown on the board.
Yes.
You can't leave it at 17. You can't leave it at 20.
I got your momentum right here. They just got the ball back again.
But they better score a touchdown is what Joe's saying.
They've been here twice before and come away with 3 points. They need to do something with the football now.
What a play by Wilson, who got there a hair before Cooper to not get free. Bury the recovery. Leinart, play pass, and Boldin to the 13-yard line. First down as we hit the 2-minute warning. New stadium, new quarterback.
Hey, let's go, baby! Are you ready for some football? You're dominating there, man. I see you dominating out there. All day, man. Hey, make a statement tonight, man. Let's go.
Has he and have they, at least through the first half, helped by a defense that's forced 4 turnovers. First time the Cardinals have done that since 1998. Each turnover giving them the ball in Bears territory. Thus far, 10 points off it. Trying to add to that here at the 2-minute warning. From the 13, Edgerrin James able to get only a yard.
I don't think they've been maligned. I think they've been awful. I think they're good tonight, but they've been awful.
Awfully maligned.
That really means the same thing, Tony.
Edgerrin James again, stopped again. Bears looking to the sideline to see if they should stop it with a timeout to keep some time.
No,
they will not. Fans booing here.
But I asked you earlier, Joe, about being conservative. Is this what do you think?
It started the other 2 times that they had the recoveries. They ran 2 of the 3 times they had the possessions, wound up having to try field goals. You started the game by spreading them out. I think you have to do that. You're the Arizona Cardinals, and you've got momentum. You've got momentum with the young quarterback. You don't have to do this on 3rd down. Do it on 1st down. Now you give the Bears a chance to come after Matt.
They only rushed 4. It's the check down.
Oh, man.
Complete to Ian Badejo.
They're playing for a
shy
field
of it,
goal.
and they'll have that opportunity here, Charles.
You're kidding me.
Part of
This upsets you, doesn't it?
It does upset me. When you got momentum, you're playing at home, you got to go for the jugular.
It's killer instinct. Bernard Berry basically said that. The thing that we don't have yet is killer instinct.
These fans aren't stupid. They know the Cardinals are scared to death right now.
The fans are a little nervous.
They may be scared to death, but they're up 17-0. It appears they're going to be up 20-0. Nobody in America would have predicted that. Even the people in the Cardinal helmets. Nobody.
Oh, when you think of you've got interceptions by the Bears, you've got 2 turnovers by fumbles. You have 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers, and you're winding up with 3 opportunities of field position and possibly coming away with just 6 points.
Yeah, and they might end up with 13 out those turnovers if they get this field goal timeout for the last play.
Hey, I'm going to make a prediction.
Yeah.
Go ahead. 20 ain't going to be enough to win this game.
If it isn't, we'll bring you back here late in the game. And everybody always said you were up for the Monday night booth anyway. You can come and sit with us forever.
Don't
you
leave
can have
early.
my job.
Hey, I'm just glad to be around Joe. I used to watch Joe when I was a little kid. I've been a big fan for a long time.
Hey, we will see you on TNT during basketball season. See you on the road.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.
Enjoy Arizona.
You bet.
We will. Charles Barkley of TNT, of course, with their NBA coverage, and one of the 50 best in NBA history, and a great presence out here in the desert as well. The half will end on this field goal attempt by Rackers after the Bears ice them a bit and take a timeout.
They don't need to ice him on these ones. They need to ice him on 50s if they want to do something, because he's having a little trouble over 50.
Neil Rackers made 40 field goals last year, which was the NFL record.
Rackers to attempt a 27-yard
Missed from 52, good from 41, this from 28. And the Arizona Cardinals go to the locker room leading 20-0. Shocking first half. And the Cardinals get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. 20-0 Arizona. The Cardinals leading Brian Urlacher and the Bears 20-0. The Bears coming into this week along with Indianapolis as the only 2 undefeated teams in the National Football League. Colts coming off a bye. They play Washington this coming Sunday. The Bears thinking they were going to come in here and get to 6-0, but it has been a complete reversal of fortunes in this first half.
It's obviously early. The Bears are a great scoring team. But if Arizona were to win this game, there are 2 things would happen. One, Matt Leinart has a career maker, and it may help save Denny Green's job, who doesn't need a third straight losing season with the talent on this team.
Robbie Gould kicks to J.J. Arrington from the 5. Arrington is pushed toward the sideline, brought down to the 26-yard line. Matt Leinart wearing a microphone. Here are some of his sounds from a great first half.
Let's go, House, man, let's go! Yeah, baby! Woo! All right, same thing, man, let's go. They can't stop us. Yeah! I've never seen this before.
Me neither. Matt Leinart was the man who he replaced Kurt Warner. And look at this stat. Talk about a great number. Matt Leinart's the first player in the history of the National Football League to throw 2 first-quarter touchdown passes in each of his first 2 career starts. And it is 2 or more first-quarter touchdown passes in his first 2 career starts.
And he can scream like Howard Dean.
Phenomenal number. Holding penalty brings the Cardinals a little bit farther back. Another short Edgerrin James run on first down to the 18. All right, that's everything that happened. Now, what's next?
Well, I think the Arizona Cardinals cannot get cautious. They talked about we don't have a killer instinct. This is their opportunity to put a drive together and make something happen. From the Bears' perspective, they have to stop it. They got to slow this train down. Spread them out, spread the Bears out. Do exactly what you did before. Don't try and create balance just to get Edge his carries. Spread them out, throw the football, put Matt in the shotgun like they are on first and second down.
2nd and 9. The Bears have short-circuited any attempts to run with Edgerrin James on a regular basis here tonight. 12 of James's 20 carries have been 2 yards or less. Leinart's throw is complete, few yards shy of the first down with Troy Walters, and here's Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Mike, Lovie Smith called the first half, quote, horrendous. He said we got out-coached and outplayed in every facet of the game. I asked him why Rex Grossman was having so many problems. He said, I don't know for sure. He's thrown some bad passes, but the pressure is getting to this offense. We want to get Rex more time to get a couple of hits downfield. It's as simple as that, guys.
Yeah, to that point, Michelle, there are 2 first-down completions to Desmond Clark, the tight end. 21 other snaps netted a total of 25 yards. Atypical of the 06 Bears. 3rd and 4. Leinart's pass knocked down. Lance Briggs there, and the defense does its job. 3 and out to start. The punt by Scott Player. Good hang time from the 29. Devin Hester. Only a yard of return. So the Bears have the ball for the first time tonight, trying to erase a 20-point deficit. Only once in history have they won after trailing by 20 or more. In 1987, a playoff season, the Ditka Bears beat Tampa Bay. And the Bears have a huge history. Jones bouncing to the outside. Thomas Jones, the former Cardinal first round. Jones, 2 yards shy of the first down. Michelle?
Oh, Mike, Denny Green told me at halftime that his defense was the highlight of the first half. They haven't allowed big plays, they've forced turnovers, and they've given the Cardinals good field position. And even with the 20-point lead, Green says when they get back on offense, the game plan isn't going to change. They're going to use the run to set up the pass. That's the way Leinart likes to play. That's the way they're going to play, Mike.
All right, Michelle working both sidelines tonight. Our colleague Susie Colbert back home. She'll be back with us next week in Dallas. 3rd and 2. Bears try to run for it, and it will be very close as Jones leaned forward, and the spot is going to force a measurement here.
He's going to be short. He's going to be short by about 6 inches. Just a nice second effort by the Cardinals up front. When you look at the second half of this game, you have to figure that the Bears are going to have maybe 6 possessions. So they're going to have to create 1 or 2 more possessions with their defense and get some points if they want to overcome this deficit.
This isn't the way the Bears have been playing all year.
No.
Not running 3 times in a series like that to try and get a first down. They've been throwing it. They got the first down.
Made it by 6 inches,
but
like
they
I
have,
said.
Yeah, you only had it the other way. But this isn't the way the Bears have played. They air it out.
Well, there is the Bears' tail in the first half. 4 punts, 4 turnovers. And this is an Arizona team that usually is always on the wrong side of the turnover column. Just 2 first downs. As a matter of fact, guys, their deepest penetration tonight has been the Arizona 49, where they get a first down if they got there right now. And Grossman does to Desmond Clark, the tight end. 3rd catch for the 8th-year man out of Wake Forest.
This is what you would
players
expect.
shaken up for a second. There with the Bears, it's the center, Olin Kreutz, who Lovie Smith told us last night is the best leader I have ever been around.
I was going to say, this is what you would expect the Bears to do, to come out here and score quickly.
They're going to have to.
They have to do that. They have to be. Joe, you've played on very, very good teams. Occasionally, you must be stunned like this. What is the halftime like when you have a team leading the whole league in offense and gets nothing against a bad team?
Number 47, Grossman throws. Rasheed Davis, catch and run to the 31-yard line. First down, Chicago.
Tony, no one has to say anything. The Bears know exactly what took place in that first half. Rex Grossman gave the ball up twice with interceptions, bad throws. The offensive line didn't give him time. Now he's getting some time to throw the football, and that's the decision that was made. Good move by Rasheed inside. Rasheed Davis is the perfect slot guy and a great story.
I have him tonight in fantasy.
Arena football guy.
Drafted again in arena football by the New Orleans Voodoo this week.
Number 31, Jones, no gain. Good job by Darnell Dockett out of Florida State. Had his contract extended, 5-year new deal, signed Friday.
Mike, you look at this football game. Muhsin Muhammad came in with 26 catches. Bernard Berrien came in with 19 catches, averaging 22 yards. They have had 1 catch between them in this ball game. But the Bears have got to get their wide receivers involved in this game and get them down the field and get some big plays.
Well, they certainly have to, considering you've had them going 16-0.
They got to get to 6 first.
Cardinals show a lot of red at the line and bring it. It got picked up, and Grossman's pass incomplete for Muhammad. There's in field goal range from here, 49 yards. Pressure again. Rex has a pocket to throw, and it is complete. Davis put the feet down for the first down. First time in the red zone tonight.
The difference is the offensive line, and when you look at them on the field, the offensive linemen are showing more emotion and more fire than I have ever seen from a group. They're pumping their fists. They're fighting their hearts out now. They know they are in a battle. And again, Adrian Wilson right in Rex Grossman's face. Adrian Wilson is a Pro Bowl safety. The problem is he plays in the same conference as Roy Williams in Dallas and Brian Dawkins in Philadelphia.
Grossman, the quick hit to Bernard. Berrien who breaks free. And Berrien takes it to the 3 as Wilson brought him down. Here's a guy who this year wanted to get stronger and tougher. So instead of taking the wide receiver weightlifting in the offseason, he wanted the linebackers regimen of weightlifting. Some of that strength here.
Rusty Jones, their strength coach, deserves a lot of credit for putting him on that program. But you see the difference when you get your center of gravity low and you do have some strength and power. This is what the Cardinals can't think that, oh my goodness, here it goes now, Tony.
It's the #1 scoring offense in the league. They're supposed to score in circumstances like this.
2 tight ends. John Gilmore is one of them. McKee, the fullback, spun into the waiting arms of Bertrand Berry. May have lost a yard.
People can't see in the booth. You were shaking your head on that play, Joe.
You give the ball to a guy who's hardly carried. He carried the ball 4 times in 4 games. Who are you going to fool down around the goal line? I mean, even if you do pop him, he's not going to get there very quick. That's a wasted call.
Grossman. John Gilmore, the tight end, was covered. Throws it away. 3rd down. Muhammad came over. Clark came over. All levels of the defense covered by the Cards.
Rex Grossman, when he makes the fake, if he gets around quick enough, watch number 85. He has him open right now. He has 85 open. He does not have Desmond Clark, number 88. And on the backside, Muhsin Muhammad is trying to work across, and Eric Green's not giving him a chance to go someplace with the ball.
Something the Cardinals have rarely had. Home field advantage. Here, 3rd down. Grossman puts it up. Incomplete. Berrien trying to win a jump ball, but good coverage by the Arizona secondary.
All season long, that is a drive that the Chicago Bears make for a touchdown. Just as the first play of the game, they throw that deep ball to Berrien, they get 6. They have played with the lead all year long and big leads in the second half. In the first half, they've outscored opponents 90-12. This is brand new for the Chicago Bears. And I know, Joe, you think they should have had a touchdown in this series.
They had to have a touchdown. They're down 3 scores if they want to get ahead.
23-yarder for the former Penn Stater, Robbie Gould. Hasn't missed a kick all year. And keeps it that way as he puts Chicago on the board. It took him 2.5 quarters. Chicago-style pizza is still awesome. Find any joint on Wabash or any Chicago-style pizza is real deal. Little pooch kick here by Gould, trying to catch the Cardinals sleeping. It goes out of bounds. So Arizona will have the opportunity here to get the ball in excellent field position as they try to catch the special teams of the Cards napping with that little pooch kick.
Thanks for inviting me for the pizza. I missed that. How about you, Joe?
Free kick, out of bounds, kicking team. By rule, the ball be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
So the stadium, 15 miles northwest of downtown Phoenix, sold out for the regular season. It's booked for another 105 event days after the Cardinals season. January will have the first ever BCS title game, and it'll host Super Bowl 42 in 2008. Leinart down the middle. Boldin almost made a one-hand grab and may have saved the pick. Leinart got hit there, but he's been talking about a lot of things on the sideline.
And that last one, too. Yeah. I don't know what they were playing. They closed the middle, and they put the linebacker on BJ.
I learned to throw the ball away, man.
What happened on the 363?
They were all in my face. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to follow through.
Somebody up the gut, and then somebody up the edge, too.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go now. Finish these guys. Let's go.
That's the attitude this Cardinals team has been missing all year, the inability to finish. Edger and James, after a lot of 2-yard runs tonight, James gets about 5 to the 45.
It's an interesting concept that they haven't finished. We talked on Saturday with a whole bunch of people from the Arizona Cardinals. They made these points. They all thought they should be 3-2, not 1-4. They all think they have talent. They all think they're just not finishing. And all of them, to a man, liked Matt Leinart. Liked the fact that he was the quarterback now, thought he was confident immediately, even as a rookie, and that he was ready to give them big games right away, which you don't see from rookies.
Games they feel they should have won. The Kansas City game last week and the 2-point home loss to St. Louis in week 3. A 3rd and 5. Throw is on the money, but a huge hit by Todd Johnson to knock it away. Incomplete. Boy, did he knock Troy Walters down.
When Lovie Smith tried that onside kick, what he basically said was, I'm going to take a chance. Defense, you go out and make a play. Troy Walters is open. Nathan Vasher falls down, but then you see what happens. Ouch. Oh, Todd Johnson, helmet on the ball, and Troy Walters wondering what train he stepped in front.
That hurts up here. That does.
Your teeth are sore.
Devin Hester back deep to receive. They blocked a player kick last week. A penalty marker comes down. It's 4th and about 5 1/4. So if it's running into the kicker, they might not have the first down. If it's roughing the kicker, obviously, that comes with an automatic first down. Let's check the flag.
Personal foul.
King size.
Roughing the kicker. Defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Last week in the Kansas City game, Scott Player had a punt blocked. Chicago tries to get him from almost the same side, in the same spot where the block came. And Dante Wesley runs into the kicker, and that is the same spot because Marcel Shipp on that right end, number 31, he was the guy beat for the block punt in the Kansas City game.
That time he just managed to hold his position long enough so that he couldn't make the turn around the corner. Lovey's tried an onside kick, and he's tried to block a punt. He's going after Arizona. Time is running away from the Bears.
Leinart back on the field with play action. Trying to just check it down to James. And Lance Briggs with another deflection. Brian Urlacher is seen as the superstar linebacker on this team. Briggs went to the Pro Bowl last year, and Brian said about Lance last night, he's the best outside linebacker in the NFL.
But the other part of it, too, is I like what Keith Rowan, the offensive coordinator of the Cardinals, is doing. He's not getting conservative. He's not just handing the ball off.
So you didn't like him at the end of the first half.
I thought he did make some good calls. I like what he's doing now. He's being aggressive. Second down, put him in the gun.
Second year as the coordinator here, came off the Kansas City staff for 6 years, where he coached the tight ends and Tony Gonzalez. This play is stopped by a false start flag.
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Michelle, Bears injury update.
Yeah, Chicago defensive back Ricky Manning Jr., Mike, is out for the rest of the game with a hamstring injury. Ricky Manning Jr. has 3 interceptions on the season. That's a big loss for the Bears, but one less concern for Matt Leinart, Mike.
Ricky Manning, who's been in the news for a legal issue as well. He pleaded no contest 3 weeks ago in L.A., Michelle, for felony assault, going back to an incident that occurred the day before he joined the Bears in the spring.
The game clock is reset to 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
A man claimed to be
started because of the incomplete pass.
A man claimed that he was attacked by Manning. The accuser said Manning was uttering ethnic slurs 3 a.m. at a Denny's. The result, the sentence, 3 years probation, 1 year anger management, 100 hours of community service. Now we wait for league action, and Manning will be headed to New York to the league office, supposedly sometime this week, depending on the injury, to talk about that very issue. Second and 15, Leinart. Pass incomplete. Arizona's side wants a flag on Mike Brown, but Brian Johnson couldn't pull it in.
Certainly you're seeing a different intensity.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Certainly you're seeing a different intensity level from the Bears defensive backs. Mike Brown jumps all over him this time. We saw what happened to him last time when Todd Johnson hit him. I still like the calls. The thing is, time is in the favor of the Arizona Cardinals. They had a penalty and an incomplete pass which stopped it. Now you got another incomplete pass. You're conserving time for the Bears, which is something you don't want to give them.
Third and 15, Urlacher pushing up the middle. Leinart's throw. Boldin makes the catch for the first down. Nathan Vasher slipped on the break, and the drive stays alive with the big receiver, Boldin.
I got to go back to you, because at one point you said they were too conservative. Then you liked them passing, but then you said if you pass and you make incomplete passes, you stop the clock. So do you want them to run or pass?
No, I want them to continue to do what they're doing. Throw the football.
All right.
The thing is the penalty was a problem also. Now, throwing the ball is fine. Stay aggressive. Don't back it off.
The great gift was a penalty here when they got it on roughing the kicker.
Without big receiver Larry Fitzgerald, Boldin has 8 grabs tonight for 94 yards.
Now, this will be a run.
Adrian James, again, nowhere to go. It'll be second and long.
Of course, he has better hands.
Oh, easy there. Boldin's been the attention of almost half the Leinart passes here tonight. James breaks into the secondary, yard shy of the first down, but a penalty marker is down. Charles Tillman made the tackle in the secondary. Looks like the Cardinals will be retreating.
Illegal formation, offense. There was no eligible receiver on the end of the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Mike, the last 4 times the Cardinals have gotten into this position inside the 30, the 25-yard line, they haven't been able to not just come away with points, but they've made mistakes. They've had delay of games. They've had movement. Now you wind up with an illegal formation. This is not the way you put people away.
Adrian James to the bench. J.J. Arrington is the running back. Boldin at the bottom of your screen. And here is the second-year back out of Cal, Arrington, tackled by Mike Brown. We'll have third down coming up.
It may not be the way you put people away, but the clock continues to tick. Chicago has not been able to score a touchdown. They're down 20-3. Arizona continues to control the ball and continues to stun everybody watching this game. This is a 1-4 team. They can say they think they should be 3-2. A 1-4 team against the best team in the NFL. dominating on offense and defense. And Arizona, without one of its great receivers, is winning this game deep into the third quarter.
4 receivers. Carlisle Holiday is the 4th. 3rd and 9 for Leinart in field goal range. On the dump down, it is right at the first down line. Arrington picked it up. First down picked up by J.J. Arrington.
I'm so impressed with Matt Leinart, but I'm equally as impressed with his offensive line. He has wonderful pocket presence. As the pressure comes from the left side, watch him step up, moves up, knows where everyone is. When they talk about the vision of a quarterback seeing the field, you can't see the entire field, but you can know where your outlet receivers are. That's what he's doing well.
Best game the offensive line has played all year, obviously.
By far.
Yeah. As the current terminology goes, that group was rolled under the bus by their head coach a couple of weeks ago. James runs right into Urlacher, nowhere to go. Here's what Dennis said on his local radio show on the ESPN radio affiliate here in the desert. Offensive line needs to quit whining so much. Half those guys are making over $3 million a year. They need to get off their butts and start doing their job. Very strong comments. And to that notion, there were changes made. The starting combo tonight is the 4th different offensive line combination in the first 6 games. 60 Nick Leckie was moved into the starting spot tonight.
This might be a consideration to stay a while. This would be one I would sort of tend to stay with.
They've kept their quarterback clean. Leinart rolls left and threw it behind the intended receiver. Bergen, the tight end.
I like these play calls. I really do.
Now you do.
No, I like the fact that they're staying aggressive. You can stay aggressive running the ball. You can stay aggressive throwing the ball. I like the fact that he's putting Matt Leinart in the shotgun on 1st and 2nd down. They're running play action. They're giving the Bears a lot to think about on that side of the ball.
Because to Tony's point from the pregame show, it's not like Edgerrin James is giving them a big running base to work up. He's averaging under 2 yards per carry tonight.
Yeah. But the offensive line is giving them enough of an opportunity to keep it manageable 3rd downs.
James, 23 carries, 44 yards. From here, a field goal is 34 yards. Arrington is the back, and J.J. runs again. And he is unable to get the first down. The good speed of Alex Brown, the former Florida Gator, Pro Bowl alternate last year, forces the field goal.
Mike, I was talking about possessions in a half. During a game, you're lucky if you get 11. That's right about the average as I've looked at it. We're coming up on 2 minutes in the 3rd quarter. The Bears have had the ball once. Arizona's had it twice. There's only been 3 possessions. There'll be 4 total in this quarter. You just run out of time if your defense can't create opportunities for you. And that's something the Bears defense has not done for their offense. Because their offense has given it away, too.
Rackers from 29 to make the lead 20. 23-3 Arizona.
So now they're back where they were at the beginning of the half.
This is their 19th season in Arizona. Their first 18, they played at Arizona State, right there where the Sun Devils play in Tempe. So they move here to their own facility, but the University of Phoenix buys the naming rights, so it becomes University of Phoenix Stadium, even though they left the college campus where they play. Go figure. Devin Hester kickoff return, trying to make something happen. And he's brought down to the 23-yard line. Arizona's +4 in the turnover margin tonight. Check this out. The prior decade coming into this season, they were a -102 in turnover margin. The only team in the history of the league to have 100 more giveaways than takeaways in a 10-year span, ever. They lost the turnover margin forever. They're winning it tonight, winning the game by 20. Deep shot for Berrien, almost made a Torrey Holt-like circus catch. Antrell rolled, deflected it to knock it away, and Eric Green cleaned up the coverage.
You've got to hang this one up with a little more trajectory underneath it. You can't rocket the ball down the field. This is something Rex is going to learn. Antrell does a nice job. Berrien almost winds up with it. But if this thing has a little more trajectory on it, Bernard Berrien's going to run by almost everybody in this league, and he was on top of Eric Green. The Bears have to get some points on this drive.
Second and 10, Cedric Benson is in the game for the Bears. Gets it for the first time tonight and makes a nice move. Benson, the former 4th overall pick in the draft, with a gain of about 6.5.
Mentioned this earlier, that an Arizona win tonight can not only establish Matt Leinart as a big-time quarterback, but can help keep Denny Green in this job. This is his third year, the third year in a row that they have started 1-4. They've got a new stadium. They have players. Anquan Boldin, Fitzgerald is out right now. They spent a lot of money on Edgerrin James. Denny's a great salesman. He sold himself and the Cardinals. People now say, okay, deliver. You win this game against the Bears, you've delivered.
3rd and 2, Grossman throw. Huge hit, and the ball comes out. Incomplete. Eric Green, who has been everywhere tonight, made another huge hit that forces another Chicago 3 and out.
This is one of those nights where what you do is you just get cases of game balls, and you start giving them away. That was real close to a catch, but he never quite had possession. What a great job by Eric Green. There he is.
Very excited.
Matt Leinart has done a wonderful job stabilizing this entire football team. Kurt Warner had fumbled 10 times and thrown 5 interceptions in the first 4 games of the season. Kurt Warner has stabilized the position.
Brad Maynard has been busy tonight. Beautiful punt here. Unreturnable, and we will be marked out of bounds officially at the 15-yard line. James run, nowhere to go, runs into the arms of Tank Johnson. Matt Leinart wearing that wireless microphone. Here he is from the last series.
Hey, they banking on us turning the ball over. That's all they're working on.
Hey, they're giving it to us. Let's go, baby. Come on, baby, let's go. They're giving it to us. That was a big drive for us, man. That took like 6 minutes off.
Tony, that speaks to something you guys were just talking about, that confidence, that leadership. The guys are willing to listen to him.
Even though he's a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they like him, and they do appreciate the fact that he played on a big stage in college.
Second half for the 15. He's hit from behind. Mark Anderson, the hit. The scoop and score for Mike Brown. The Bears get back in it.
Robert Griffith just told Matt Leinart they're waiting for us to make a mistake. Now, this is not on Leinart. When you get hit from the blind side without anybody blocking you, when you get just absolutely unblocked, I mean, I have no earthly idea what Oliver Ross is thinking or looking at. But there's a guy lined up outside his right shoulder that he just doesn't even see.
He's not looking at 97. We've established that.
Mark Anderson has come on with a vengeance. That's his six and a half sacks so far.
Came in leading all rookies. 5th-round pick out of Alabama. Gold adds the extra point, and just like that, 13-point game. And off we go to the 4th quarter from Arizona. Mike Tirico, Joe Theismann, Tony Kornheiser. Michelle Tafoya down on the field. Susie Culver back with us next week. Just a moment ago, Bertrand Berry trying to fire up his quarterback after the turnover.
Don't let it compound. It's one play. Let it be one play.
You're not wired.
Let's go. We got to get the rhythm, baby. Let's go. We good?
Yeah. You can see it?
Remember, Tony Berry on Saturday was one of the guys who was very vocal about our need to finish and our need to learn how to have the killer instinct. Right now, the Bears defense is ready for everything. 1 yard there with edge. Here's Michelle.
Mike, I mentioned I spoke with Pete Carroll this week, and he planned to talk to Matt Leinart before the game. I asked what advice he'd give him. He said, I'll tell him what I always tell him. Don't over-try. Take what they give you, use the system, and use the guys around you. Don't do it all yourself. But Mike Carroll also said Matt will handle this. If they can protect him, I have no worry about his ability to handle this. And up until that sack, they had protected him.
Yep, and Ross with the complete miss, the fumble recovered by Mike Brown for the touchdown. 2nd down. And whistles stop this one, and we'll push it back.
There is no foul for illegal formation. Arizona's charged its first team timeout.
Okay, so the Cardinals getting the timeout called there on the sideline before the play comes off. Out of the Arizona called timeout, this is 2nd down. And Leinart throws to Boldin. Hangs on. 1st down at the the 39-yard line.
It is so great to have a money receiver, a guy you can count on, a guy you know is going to get open. He's strong enough, he's big enough to go make plays. He will go up and snatch this ball out of the air. Just snatches it. Excellent protection now. Good throw.
They thought they had two money receivers, and they did in Larry Fitzgerald, and he's out. And against the Bear defense, for Boldin to do this much is rather amazing.
Mike Brown had an Achilles problem coming in. You can see him limping around. Don't know whether he heard it on the touchdown, but it's a different ball game when Worrell's in there.
That's why you saw 44 coming up to hit Boldin just a half second late. Here is the run to James. Turning down tackles, Edgerrin James runs with a purpose for the first down near midfield.
Edge has come into this football team and changed the personality of it. When you look at this locker rooms are important. The cohesiveness, the way they feel about one another. The Bears have that feeling. But the big thing with Edge, matter of fact, the black shoes he's wearing is one of the changes that he made to this football team. He went to ownership and said, look, white shoes are good for golf and for wearing high socks when you're old, but black shoes are for football.
In Bear territory, James spins again. Urlacher starts it, and it's finished off by Alex Brown.
Look, he's had trouble gaining. The offensive line hasn't helped him. He's got a tremendous amount of rushes where he gets no yards at all. He's also complained the last few weeks that he wants the ball in the fourth quarter. He talks about finishing games, and he wants the ball in the fourth quarter to run out the clock and gain some yards. That seems to be what they're going to now. When they've tried this before, it hadn't worked, and Denny Green had pulled back and said, we're going to throw the ball more. This is where Edgerrin James is going to earn that money.
And you know the frustration. He knows how to finish games.
Sure. Did it in Indianapolis.
Yeah. 2nd and 10. Getting an illegal man on the end of the line. Leinart pumping the Pro Bowler Briggs. Flag is down as Leinart throws it away. Making sure he was out of the tackle box. The pass did cross the line of scrimmage. So there's no grounding flag thrown to this point, but there is one at the line of scrimmage.
Matt Leinart might have a cramp also.
Illegal motion, offense, number 81. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Michelle Tafoya.
Well, another hit for the Chicago Bears. Starting strong safety Mike Brown being carted off to the locker room. He's got a sprained right foot. They're taking him in for x-rays, likely out for the game, guys.
He had the Achilles soreness that Joe had talked about. He missed 04 with that, calf problems in 05, and he scored that touchdown right back here in his home area. He's from Scottsdale, Arizona. And there you see him under the pile getting bent back after that touchdown was scored just a few moments ago. J.J. Arrington the back in the game. Leinart hit as he throws. Incomplete. Brian Johnson went sliding, but Matt couldn't stand and deliver because he was being delivered upon by Israel Idonije.
The Bear defense doing what they're supposed to do, and that's create the opportunity for their offense to get on the field. We've seen that right side. Oliver Ross is over there. Now all of a sudden you get the big defensive end come flying in.
Devin Hester, who has made some questionable decisions to make spectacular plays. A flag comes down. Player's kick has good hang time, and Hester makes the fair catch at the 15. Let's check the laundry. The 34-yard punt, but did the job because of the hang time.
There's a flag on the play.
And if it's on the Cardinals, the Bears could choose to tack it on.
Illegal formation, kicking team. Number 97 was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick.
So the Bears will take over at the 21. As the quarter began, Bears down 13. Chicago has lost its last 16 games in which it trailed going into the fourth quarter. That's the longest consecutive current streak in the NFL. Trying to overcome that here tonight. And Cedric Benson carries out to the 25-yard line.
On a season, except 5-0 is obviously not 12-0.
2nd and 6. Wilson comes in. The safety is picked up, but he has to get rid of it, does Grossman, and the pass is incomplete.
I will say this, coming into this game, Rex Grossman was the celebrated quarterback. Matt Leinart had one start underneath him. Obviously a rookie, a big-time rookie, but only one start. Rex Grossman has not been able to generate any offense. Their score came on a defensive play, and Leinart has been the guy to take center stage and make it work for him.
Third down, Cards show and brings us the four-man rush. And Grossman's throw is incomplete. That's another Eric Green hit. And Muhsin Muhammad is slow to get up. That's about 4 times that Eric Green has cleaned out a Chicago receiver tonight.
Antro roll at one corner, Eric Green at the other corner have really done a fabulous job just delivering blows. I mean, it knocks him backwards. Rex Grossman has the time, a little bit behind, and you see Eric Green, bang,
Running
bang.
out of time.
They are.
Running out of time.
The Bears are not coming up with the plays they need on offense, which is really the reason why they got to 5-0 this year.
And they haven't done much offensively, only 141 yards, 6 3-and-outs, 4 turnovers tonight. Fair caught at the 20 by Troy Walters. My son wanted a Matt Leinart kids jersey. They're all sold out already. James the run. Nowhere to go, lost a couple of yards.
This is where the Bear defense has to step up and stop the Cardinals to create some possessions for their offense. The Cardinals, if they can gain a couple of first downs here, they're going to put a lot of pressure on the Bears to just have enough time left to make plays.
And there are the numbers that the Bears put up, numbers that you guys pointed out at the top, gaudy numbers defensively, but tonight Urlacher's team has been backed off a little bit by the poise and presence of Leinart. Quick toss is still alive, and it's incomplete. It was deflected and never touched the ground after Charles Tillman hit it and was alive in the air for a while.
We mentioned just a while ago about that Monday Night Football game between the great Bears team of '85 and Miami. And we mentioned it because people have looked at this 5-0 start by the Bears and automatically assumed they are the '85 Bears. Clearly at 5-0, it's not 12-0, and they're being pretty much taken apart tonight. But this has happened. People wonder, when are they going to do a video? People are making reservations in Chicago for the Super Bowl. The man to my right, Joe Theismann, had him going 16-0, I hasten to say.
All right, the game's not over yet.
Marcel Shipp next to Leinart. Third down. Urlacher knocked that one down. Brian Urlacher, the Defensive Player of the Year, forces the 3-and-out.
The Bears have batted down 4 balls, I believe, tonight. 4 of them on short passes that Matt Leinart's tried to get off, and the clock stops again. Brian Urlacher, right in the middle of your screen, comes around, can't get there, jumps up in the air and swats it back. He hasn't had a sack in 16 games, but his presence in the middle makes you think about those great Chicago Bear middle linebackers.
Devin Hester would love to get his hands on a return and make something happen from the 37. Got a couple of blocks. Has some room. And brought down at the 43-yard line. A very good tackle. Net punting is one of those stats that you don't really pay a lot of attention to, but the Cardinals netted only 23 yards on that exchange. Thus, Chicago starts with great field position at the Cardinals 43, by far their best starting series spot of the night. Offside for the Cards, and it will be whistled down and stopped because the player was untouched coming over.
Unabated to the quarterback. Defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
On Bertrand.
They like to slide in big words every now in the rules. You know, you could just say he was offsides and nobody blocked him. But no, they like unabated.
Like unabated?
Unabated. Unabated.
Unimpeded could be good too.
Unimpeded's another one, right? Rex Grossman has had people that have been impeded and still knocked the living daylights out of them.
This is just starting to teeter on that point.
Yep.
Great field position. 1st and 5. Chance to take a shot down the field.
Have to take shots anyway.
Grossman firing. Incomplete. Well covered, as Berrien was the intended receiver. This is very similar to last week, where the Cardinals had a 14-point lead right out of the gate after the first quarter, and they're trying to not blow it like they did in this building last week to Kansas City. And how about this? In NFL history, no team has lost 2 consecutive games in the same season when they led by 14 at the end of the first quarter. Never mind 14-point lead or more at the end of the first quarter in back-to-back weeks. like the Cardinals.
It would be a devastating loss for Arizona.
Right.
Absolutely.
Never in the same season has it happened. But Grossman's made only one of his last 8. There's a marker down as Jones keeps going for the first down across the 30 to the 27-yard line.
This could be against Arizona, getting a little itchy up front.
Another offside flag.
Offside. Defense, number 98. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
It would not only be a situation in which you blew 2 14-point first quarter leads in a row, but in this game, they had a 20-point lead in the second half.
The other thing is Chicago can't settle for field goals. They're going to have to go for touchdowns.
Grossman just gets rid of it. And you can almost sense, as Grossman got knocked down again, Chike O'Keefer in there, you can almost sense with the Cardinals that fear of impending doom. What did Denny Green say about what's waiting outside the door?
He said at one point when he talked to us that success is waiting just outside the door to his office. And I remember saying to you, success is waiting just outside the door if the Bears are waiting just outside the door.
Well,
now it looks like success could be his, but if you blow this game, you know, your team sinks.
The problem is with the Cardinals, failure always walks through the door when they least want it. And that's the negative vibe that they try to fight here. Grossman, another home run shot, nothing doing. One more time intended for Berrien, and there's been a lot of balls that had no chance of completing.
They made a habit out of snatching failure from the jaws of victory. Is that the old cliche?
That time, Antrell Roll bumped into Bernard Berrien when Rex Grossman let this ball go. Watch Berrien. Now, you can't touch the receiver after 5 yards. I don't know if somebody can't count up to 5, but it sure looked like he was down the field.
The way he had cut, you didn't think it was going to be a catch, but by letter of the law,
you can't touch him.
Yes, third down. Grossman's throw incomplete. They've done a nice job in the secondary. Now, what do you do?
I think you have to go for it. I mean, you're 9:25. Field goal takes you to 13. You're still 2 scores down. You still have to go. I feel like you have to go for it. Put the onus back on your defense. You tried an onside kick. You gave them better field position than this. This is the right decision. But he can't keep trying to force the ball down the field. Rex is trying so hard to get big plays. Big plays will come to you.
So they eschew the opportunity for the 45-yard field goal to make it a 10-point game and try to pick it up on 4th down. Coming off the corner, Antrell Roll is picked up. Grossman's pass is knocked down, and it is intercepted. Darnell Dockett comes away with the pick. As he continues down the field, no one has marked him down, and with a convoy of Cardinals, Dockett takes it all the way to the end zone. The Bears stopped. They thought the play was over. Ruling on the field, touchdown.
He landed on top of the Bear player. He did not land on the ground. Great presence of mind to keep on running.
Didn't Javon Walker do that a few years ago as well? Just catch a pass, not actually hit the ground, landed on top of one of the other players and kept running?
On Monday night.
Like everyone else in this stadium, I thought he was down.
And they're going slow to set up the extra point to see if Lovie Smith is thinking about challenging here, with a challenge still at his disposal, and the red flag has been thrown. He rolls over, and his knee does come down there.
Down.
So he will be down. Rasheed Davis takes him out, and once this knee hits.
This quarter has to be the longest quarter I've ever seen.
Chicago is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact.
And he's right.
So it'll be at the 27-yard line, and it was it looks very clear there. It was a millisecond for the player coming down. It was not seen, and that's why the Bears stopped and the Cardinals did not. So the challenge flag thrown by Lovie Smith, and we'll take a look under the hood here with 9:08 to go. as we talk about that, let me just remind everyone on this challenge, even with the reversal here, it won't be the points. It will be Arizona ball. One, because of the interception. It was also a fourth down play. So as we're watching all this, remember, the Cardinals are going to get the ball back with 9:08 to go and their lead.
But the Cardinals are going to have to get some first downs to take some time off the clock if they want to preserve the victory.
After reviewing the play, the defender was down by contact at the 26-yard line. The ball will return to the 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
So does Darnell Dockett
set the game clock to 9 minutes, 18 seconds.
Does he give the football back that he took to the sideline he was proudly displaying?
No.
It is a pick for a defensive lineman. They always like to have those.
He has to give the football back, I suppose.
No.
But he needs the oxygen that he took at the sidelines as well after that run.
The entire team ran down there with him.
Convoy.
You know, I see Darnell, Kurt Warner was talking to him over there for a second. We saw a few shots of Kurt in the conversations with Matt Leinart. Kurt got the start week 1, was the NFC Player of the Week in the victory over San Francisco. But what has hurt the Bears tonight, turnovers, is exactly what hurt Kurt Warner this year. And it just goes to show you that when you turn the football over as a quarterback, it's very hard for your team to win in this league, especially at that volume. James the carry, just a yard. Thank you, Matt Edger and James, tackled by Brian Urlacher and Tank Johnson. And we'll have 3rd down coming up.
That's the problem James has had all year. The inability in situations like this to gain yards.
The offense, and it's not on James, the offensive line does not create the kind of opportunities that he had in Indianapolis. Let's face it, when you spread the field and Peyton Manning is your quarterback, there are going to be holes to run. His value, though, in Indianapolis, even though he gained a lot of yards, I think was as a pass protector. He's so smart and knows how to help a quarterback out.
3rd down, Bears need to get the Cardinals offense off the field. Leinart's throw is complete. Troy Walters trying to stay in bounds. He's out of bounds. Still not under 5 minutes yet, but the Bears do what they needed to do, a 3 and out. And Chicago will get the ball back.
And the thing that Troy Walters had to try not to do was go out of bounds. The clock becomes so important to protect the lead.
That face mask gets to me. It just sags so badly. It looks like he picked that up
one
in a
screw.
thrift
It's got a
store.
loose screw in it.
I mean, come on.
I wore a single bar, but at least it covered my face a little bit. Didn't help much.
But it didn't cover your mouth, obviously, because you kept talking while you played.
And that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Not under 5 minutes, so once the ball was reset, the clock reset at 25, the game clock begins again. Hester, good return last time. Does he have an 81-yard punt return in him? No. Good special teams play to bring him down at the 29-yard line. They came in having allowed a paltry 7.2 points per game. Grossman back to work. Desmond Clark, the tight end, who's had a very productive night, complete.
And this is what Rex Grossman's going to have to do. Take the underneath coverages. You'll get your shot down the field, but get the safeties coming up and making tackles on your tight ends and your backs and your short slot receivers.
No huddle and a whistle here with a flag. False start on the Bears.
False start. Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Lovie Smith was the coach of the year in the National Football League last year. Bears won the North, went from 5-11 to 11-5. Of course, had the disappointing playoff loss to Carolina at Soldier Field.
But they went 11-5 without a quarterback. They were a one-arm team. They could not throw the ball with Kyle Orton at all.
Orton, the rookie from Purdue, started 15 times last year. Grossman, another deflection, incomplete.
Rex Grossman has got to get away from the line of scrimmage. They continue to try and throw those slants. 2 things have happened. He's had a bunch of balls batted up in the air, or the receivers have just gotten leveled by the defensive backs. There it is again. Terrific job by Gerald Hayes coming around, free runner at him, making the play. They're in 4-down territory here. So Rex Grossman doesn't have to try and get a big play, just has to pick up the first down.
Pressure coming. Wilson couldn't get there. And Grossman completes the pass to Bernard Berrien, taken out of bounds by David Macklin. And it's at the 48-yard line.
Clancy Pendergast, the defensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals, has his guys confusing Rex Grossman. Terrific job, just a terrific job by Reuben Brown, the left guard, just getting a piece of him. But Grossman staying around, keeping his head, making plays. But Clancy's got Rex all confused.
Nobody open downfield, had to get rid of it. Pass incomplete. Clancy Pendergast, you mentioned, Joe, the defensive coordinator for Arizona, is an Arizona alum, University of Arizona. He's a native of the state, and some of his relatives owned some of the land that this stadium was built on. It's out in Glendale. The hockey arena is right next door. It's a big, vast area, and some of his folks own some of the land.
What's he doing coaching? If you're a real estate baron and they're building stadiums on your land.
I didn't say direct route. Some people in the family.
Why put yourself through this?
Cardinal charge brings flags.
Cardinals gambling a lot more on defense than they did earlier, right, Joe?
All-star offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Michelle Tafoya.
What I can tell you guys about Rex Grossman during this game, there has not been any quit despite the struggles. He has, just before this drive, went to all of his linemen, his backs, his receivers, gave him a little fist pump and said, let's go. He has not looked rattled at all by any of this.
Yeah, it's part of going through that Florida pressure cooker. And here with the Bears this year, he was booed in the preseason when they played the Cardinals. Everybody in Chicago was uptight about Rex. His teammates were. Throw. Great read. Picked off by Robert Griffith, the 13-year veteran.
He just absolutely refused to take underneath receivers. He kept trying to bite off big chunks, and he either overthrew them, and if he was home in Chicago right now, they would be booing louder than they did in the preseason. He has played very, very poorly tonight. He's thrown the ball poorly, and his decisions have been bad.
That's not at all what people expected. Most people expected the Bears to come in here and roll over the Cardinals.
Rex has a tendency to be considered a gunslinger. And we've seen him in these last couple of drives try and force the ball down the field.
Turnover number 6.
4th interception.
And Edgerrin James will try to salt the game away as his run is stopped quickly by Alfonso Boone, backup defensive lineman.
The Cardinals worried about their inability to finish. If they can't finish this one now, with all the turnovers they've created, with what they've done to Rex Grossman, if they can't finish this one now, then we can't even listen to them for the rest of the year.
All the air.
franchise, yeah, just close up the dome, put the roof on it, and give it back to, is it Pendergast?
Yep.
Give it back to his family and resell it as a pizza haven. It's over for football if they don't hold on to this one.
Second down, here's James. Right into the line. Did the ball come out? It did. It is scooped up by the Bears. Charles Tillman takes it the distance, and Chicago is very much alive. You were saying?
That's exactly. Now, how stupid could I possibly look?
Remember the one thing Robert Griffith said a few series ago to Matt Leinart? They're waiting for us to make a mistake.
Well, there it was.
Watch Urlacher here, guys. Kept reaching in and just pulled it out of the arms of James, and it's scooped and scored by Tillman.
Denny Green's going to challenge the play. The flag's already out. It's a good decision to challenge it. Doesn't look like it's going to get overturned. But, hey, in this kind of a situation, and as we're talking about, to let this one get away.
Oh, that's totally devastating if that happens. Honestly, maybe I'm silly for saying to close the roof on the stadium, but if you are part of one of the most unspeakably bad franchises in history that never wins any games, and you have the Bears on the table like this, creating the turnovers that you have created. If you were to lose this game, there's just no turnaround off that.
The only thing you can look at when you see this particular video is obviously he's up. Did the whistle blow? Didn't hear any whistles. The officials did not indicate that the whistle blew. It should be ruled a touchdown upon the review.
Danny wants one more explanation. Alfonso Boone was holding James up, and then it was freeing Urlacher to come in and strip it.
Arizona wanted to challenge the ruling on the field of a fumble. You cannot challenge forward progress. They will not be charged a team timeout. The touchdown will stand.
So it has been a year since Edgerrin James had a fumble, almost a year. It happens here at the most inopportune time. And the guy who was almost belligerent about letting him run it to finish out the game in trying to do that gives it up here.
The heads-up nature of Brian Urlacher. He is actually way outside on the right, reaches in, yanks the ball out. We can talk all we want about Rex Grossman in the offense, but it's the defense once again that's getting it done.
2 defensive scores, and the Chicago Bears down 23-3 with 5 seconds left in the third quarter have come back on the strength of 2 defensive scores. 6-point game, 5 minutes left.
Wow. Here's what happened yesterday when we talked to Lovie Smith. He turned to me, he said, what do you think our goal on defense is? And I said to create turnovers, and he said, I thought you would say that. No, our goal is to score first. Our second goal is to get the ball back. They have put 14 up without any offense, right? 2 successive, devastating plays created that. So Lovie Smith, this is exactly what he tells his defense to do. Not just get the ball back, punch it in. They've done that twice.
And your quarterback is playing horrifically. 4 interceptions, and none of them close to people. He's just throwing them up in the air. This is an opportunity, again, for that Bear defense to go back on the field to try and make some plays and create opportunities. Remember,
can you even imagine what it would be like to be an Arizona Cardinal to lose this game now?
Imagine what they're feeling right now. There has to be in their minds right now saying, oh my gosh, here we go again.
Yeah, Bob Dylan had a line, oh my God, am I here all alone?
You know, guys, you look at Urlacher, and those are the kind of plays that you expect out of the Chicago Bear middle linebacker, the defensive player of the year, when all hope is gone. We see guys try to do that all the time. He got in there and got the ball out from a Pro Bowl back in Edgerrin James.
Butkus, Singletary, Urlacher. They make those plays.
Arrington the return, J.J. to the 33-yard line. He's brought down by Cameron Worrell, the safety.
This flag came in. J.J. spiked the ball and was real excited about what he did.
Yep.
Could it be taunting? On the field, you have unsportsmanlike conduct for taunting receiving team number 28. 15-yard penalty, first down.
J.J. Arrington, when he got up, he just spiked the ball into the ground, not necessarily at any individual. Now, I don't know if he gets in anybody's face. Yes, he does. He turns around. All you had to do was keep your mouth shut. It's great to celebrate.
Can it go from bad to worse much quicker than this?
How many different ways?
After Edgerrin James' first fumble since October 17th last year, or 52 Mondays ago, the Cardinals try to show some resiliency. Their lead that was 20 is now 6. And the series begins going right to James, right to the ground. Who else? Urlacher again.
This is where the pressure falls on Keith Rowan, the offensive coordinator, and Matt Leinart, the quarterback. We've seen him get some balls knocked down. Well, Urlacher batted one down. He created a fumble. Now he's made a tackle. You can't fold up the tent right now. Too much time left. You have to put the ball in the air. Put him in the shotgun. Get him away from the line of scrimmage and do what you did early in the game.
He made plays last year against Notre Dame when he had to. Can he make them against the Bears?
4th and 9. I remember it too well.
It's been a struggle since those first couple of drives. Back to Anquan Boldin, the money man tonight. First down to the 34-yard line. A gain of 14 as Boldin continues to dominate the game at the receiver position.
That's a big play for Leinart. This is a big drive for Leinart. He is a rookie. He has the entire stage to himself. If he can run this one out, if he can keep them on the field, his offense on the field, and win this game, again, that's the Hollywood ending for the kid from the OC.
Right? I don't look at him as a rookie. He plays.
Really?
I don't.
Well, he is.
He watches the clock. He's just so aware of what's going on.
He's smart. He knows to go to Boldin. 10 catches tonight, 297 in his career. James Urlacher. Brian Urlacher is just locking in on 32, and he's coming to get him and get him and get him again.
Brian Urlacher has decided to take over this football game. He's made 2 tackles here in the last 3 plays. He's batted a ball down. He's forced a fumble in the last 5. He's had 10 tackles and 1 forced fumble. I mean, he has really been all over.
Timeout taken by Chicago. Each team can stop it twice.
You have to do it for a long time, as those other guys did.
Off the timeout, 2nd and 12. Leinart throws. Brian Johnson couldn't adjust to the Charles Tillman coverage.
I like the fact that the Cardinals are not just trying to pound it in there. They're trying to win this football game. They're not trying to protect a lead. They're trying to go out and win it. When you look at the way the Cardinals are playing, you get the sense that Denny Green has got them really pointed in the right direction. A player here, a play there.
Not if they lose this
Changes
one, Joe.
well,
not if they give this lead up in this way.
He's not the player. He hasn't fumbled.
3rd and 12. Most of the noise coming from the Bear fans hibernating here in the desert. Leinart flush to his left. He can throw well to his left, but not enough steam to get it downfield to Walters, and the Bears will get the ball back with 3:17 to go.
Rex Grossman has to change his MO right now. For a little over 57 minutes, he has tried to force the plays. His defense is creating opportunities for him. He'll have good field position. He has to just take what the defense is giving him.
They almost got to players' kick. Devin Hester from the 18. Reading box. Devin Hester into the open field. And Hester picks up another block. Devin Hester, the punter to beat. He beat him. Devin Hester all the way. Touchdown, Chicago Bears.
It's just incredible.
That is exactly what he did in college at Miami to Louisville when they had a big lead. And the rookie does it again. 82 yards.
Absolutely incredible. They've scored no points on their own offense.
Their offense has been
nothing
horrible.
on their offense. They have 2 scores on defensive plays and a score on a punt return. And if
we talked about the Chicago Bears as a football team, and what you're seeing tonight, the first 5 games, their offense has carried them and done an excellent job. Tonight, the special teams and the defense have jumped up and now created an opportunity for another chapter in your Matt Leinart story to be able to try and do something.
This is for the lead, Robbie Gould. An unbelievable comeback by the Bears here in Arizona. 24-23. Lovie Smith's team has come back. Let me tell you a story about Devin Hester. I'm in the Orange Bowl doing a Thursday night game 5 years ago. It's Louisville against Miami. And Hester idolized Deion Sanders in a game against the Cardinals, very similar to this. He said he wanted to make the big play like his idol Deion Sanders. He made the punt return, erased a big deficit, put them over the top for the lead. That night, Deion Sanders watching, heard us mention his name on the broadcast. He reached out to call Devin Hester. Even though it was a Florida State guy calling a Miami guy, Hester, who also plays corner, has struck up a friendship with Deion. And I guarantee you, there's a text message from Deion's phone to Devin's phone right now saying, I'm proud of you, 23.
he should have stayed in the end zone and done the Deion dance.
And Matt Leinart gathering his thoughts. It's all on his shoulders now. The offensive line will have to pass block against what is going to be a ferocious attack.
You understand, if you are a sports columnist now and you're getting ready to write, it is very hard for you not to put the words choke and Arizona in the first sentence. 14-point first quarter lead, 20-point second half lead, and not
not giving it up on offensive plays.
The thing that Matt Leinart has to be thinking about right now is opportunity. This is why you want to play quarterback. Put the ball in my hands. Give me a chance. He's been there many, many times before. Maybe not on this stage, but it's not an unfamiliar position to him.
From the 7, J.J. Arrington. Mistake on the back end of the last kickoff. Taken out of bounds. Kurt Warner with some words of advice to Matt Leinart on the sideline a moment ago.
It's all on you. This is what you do. It's what you do.
He's right. That's what he does. This is why you get the big dollars. That's why they send the big checks. They actually put them in your account. They don't even send them to you.
And that's why there's class after the word Kurt Warner. The guy who took his job, there he is. He's been talking to Leinart all night long. And just those last words of encouragement going up against Urlacher and the Bears defense that has turned this game around.
They only need a field goal or to get in field goal range for an opportunity.
2:53, 2 timeouts. First pass, Boldin. His 11th catch of the night. Brian Urlacher puts his 81 into the ground.
Is he all over the field?
Is
there any play that is made by Chicago that Urlacher doesn't make at any part of the field?
There are 2 of them.
Okay.
That's the thing you don't know.
Okay.
There's one playing middle linebacker and one playing somewhere else, wherever the ball is.
Been a quiet night for Tommy Harris, the big pass rusher, number 91. Leinart throws underneath, complete for the first down to Edgerrin James, near midfield. See if they squeeze in a play before the 2-minute warning.
You don't have to rush. Just take your time.
Yep. Yeah,
let it go down. You've got timeouts. You've got a 2-minute warning. No sense in hurrying things up. Get you a chance to talk to your offensive line a little bit.
Those comparisons are made to the 85 Bears, mythical teams. A win like this is a mythical type win. In the final seconds of the third quarter, Arizona led 23-3. Matt Leinart was sacked, fumbled, turned into a Mike Brown touchdown. The Bears added another defensive touchdown after an Edgerrin James fumble. And then Devin Hester brought it back 82 yards. And Dennis Green's team, that, well, it's always something with the Arizona Cardinals. Always something, whether it was Denny Green or whoever the coach was or the quarterback. Well, they're down 1, and now they have a chance. They're 20 yards out of field goal range for Rackers. Comfortable field goal range. And Leinart's pass is incomplete. Brian Johnson was the receiver in the neighborhood, but pressure came in.
Matt Leinart is not going to move around a lot. He's sitting in the pocket. It's going to be up to that offensive line to give him a chance to be able to make the throws. I have complete confidence in Matt Leinart not being rattled, doing a better job than Rex Grossman has, getting the ball to the underneath people.
Find yourself rooting for him? I do a little bit here. This could be the makings of his career if he gets this done.
I can root for a young man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Second down. His throw is caught by Troy Walters. The veteran's out of bounds. Gain of 6, 3rd and 4 with 1:52 and 2 timeouts remaining.
You're in 2-down territory here, so again, you don't need to try and put the ball down the field. You see an extreme contrast in what Matt Leinart is doing with the football versus what we saw Rex Grossman do in a situation where they tried to get in position for scores. Rex tried to take off bigger chunks. Matt is not.
You throw here, don't you?
Keep throwing.
Right.
You're not going to fool him because Urlacher will tackle if you give the guy the ball.
Urlacher's right behind the first down line. It's 3rd down. Leinart throws complete for the first down to Ayambadejo. So Femi Ayambadejo comes out of the backfield, makes a 13-yard reception, and puts Arizona in field goal range.
Matt Leinart looks like he's been here before. This is
he has, just not in the NFL.
But you know what? USC is like the NFL. They put enough guys in the NFL. You're used to the speed. We've seen the impact of a Reggie Bush coming out of USC. Everybody said, oh, he was too small. Well, Matt Leinart, I didn't think his arm was strong enough. I was wrong. It's plenty strong.
From the 31 with 2 timeouts, already in field goal range. Leinart throws for Boldin, who caught it, ducked out of Urlacher's big hit to get a gain of 8, covered by Vasher.
How can you not like
But I
what's
asked you
going on.
before, I asked you, do you find yourself rooting for him just a little bit? He's a rookie. He comes out of California, USC, 37-2 in USC. People like you doubted his arm strength. Everybody at the time of the draft
That's the only
wondered
thing I
why he
doubted.
dropped all the way to 10. He was almost discarded in that way. He ends up in Arizona where they have no history of winning, and he's got a chance to pull off the biggest upset of the year, maybe in the whole franchise history.
Don't get conservative and start running.
On second down, Edgerrin James protecting the ball as they try to move toward a first down. Now, interesting here, with the clock running down, Arizona's milking it toward a field goal. Will the Bears use it to stop the clock, or will Arizona? Both teams have timeouts. Chicago taking this timeout.
We talked in the open. It seems like years ago, we talked about a quiet confidence, like a Tom Brady. He has that type
Those
of
are big
demeanor.
shoes, Joe.
I know they're shoes, but he looks that way.
3rd and 1. James cannot get the first down. So the field goal attempt will come here, and the Bears will get a chance. What a huge stop that was by Chicago. It buys them at least the opportunity to get down the field and take a field goal shot. It was last week against the Kansas City Chiefs that Neil Rackers had an over 50-yard field goal attempt to tie the game and send it to overtime. Neil Rackers, who's married to his best friend from high school, Rachel, you can tell that he plays for the Cardinals. And there you see his success in the last couple of minutes with a field goal on the line to try to change the outcome, send it to overtime with a win, or the win, I should say. Only miss in his career was against the Chiefs. You can tell he plays for the Cardinals because he and his wife, Rachel, Monday night is their date night. They don't play on Monday Night Football very often. Well, he can have a date with destiny trying to keep the Cardinals from one of their more embarrassing losses by converting a 40-yard field goal here out of the hold of Scott Player.
He hasn't missed from inside 50 this year.
Hester charges off the edge. The field goal is leaking. It's no good. He missed it to the left. And Rackers, a money kicker last year, for the 2nd straight week misses one. Could have given him the overtime opportunity last week. Could have given him the win here. And the Chicago Bears are about to leave the desert with thievery. A 6-turnover, no offensive score win.
Leinart did everything that he was asked to do, including handoff on the last 2 plays. And then the Bears, Mike said this before, this would be that miracle win, right? That they have no business winning this game. Look how devastated the kicker is as he runs away from the line. And Chicago walks out of here 6-0 on their way, you think, to 16-0. They should have lost this game.
Yeah, well, they stole
They
one.
should have lost this game. Look at Leinart's reaction, banging his helmet.
There isn't anything more that Matt Leinart can do. You've got to pick up first downs. You pick up a first down, you burn some more time off the clock, you get closer. This kid's going to be for real. Well, he is for real.
What the Cardinals were saying all week was, we're 1-4, we should be 3-2. Now they're going to be able to say they should be 4-2. They should have won this game.
Let me give you some perspective here, guys. The Cards blow a 14-0 lead back-to-back weeks, a 14-0 first quarter lead, NFL history. Haven't seen that. Second time in the history of the Bears, down 20, they come back and rally. First time they've erased a 20-point second-half deficit, and it's the first time since Tennessee in 2000 that a team has committed 6 or more turnovers and won a football game. And that's the Arizona Cardinals in a nutshell tonight.
This could be the most bizarre football game I've ever witnessed. In 31 years of professional football, both playing and broadcasting, this thing was just absolutely bizarre.
It's the difference in the franchises. Arizona can't win. It doesn't matter whether they're in Chicago, St. Louis, or Arizona. The Cardinals don't win, and the Bears at some point come up with a miracle that leads you back on this path to 1985. It does. It brings you back there again.
In the history of the NFL, it's the greatest deficit overcome to get a team to undefeated 6 wins and beyond.
Matt Leinart will get this franchise winning.
An amazing win for the Chicago Bears tonight.
Look at Leinart walk off the field.
So the new Bears, who have all this offense, when the money's down, it becomes the Bears. Defense does it. 2 defensive scores. The special teams return by Devin Hester. And the Arizona Cardinals are 1-5.